Hey guys, it's Alicia and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Track season is in full swing, and every track season brings up the memory of my worst track meet experience and why I'm no longer in track. So I thought I would make this video because it is track season and I don't do a whole lot of story times on my channel, and I'd sort of like that to change, because I do have some interesting stories. So anyway, let's get on to the video. So spring of my 7th grade year, I started track and I really enjoyed it. I was doing long distance and I started high jump, but I ended up switching later on in this story. But long distance was really fun. It was really hard, but it was pretty okay. And I really worked my butt off, and I made varsity for long distance, which was such an accomplishment for me. I was so happy and relieved that I was able to work myself up to varsity, and the first varsity track meet was on my birthday, and I was pretty pumped. I hadn't qualified varsity for high jump, so I was just doing the 800, which is 2 laps around the track, and the 1600, which is 4, which is a mile. And I was pretty excited. I didn't really know a whole lot of people on varsity, so I ended up sitting in a row by myself, eating Cheetos and listening to music the entire bus ride, but it was all okay. And the day went pretty well. I made my best mile time. It was 7:13 on my 13th birthday, and I was so happy. I thought, this track season's going great. It's gonna be a great season. I'm gonna beat all these time records, get in shape. It's all gonna work out. Well, a few days after that varsity meet, I realized that I didn't really have a future in high jump, so I switched over to triple jump, and the triple jumping coach was all cool, and it was a Friday that I switched over, and he gave me about a 10-minute explanation of how to triple jump, and then practice was over because I had just gotten done with my running events and I didn't have a whole lot of time. And for those of you who don't know what triple jumping is, I will insert a video of me triple jumping. Don't judge, I know it's not the best. This is one of the first times I ever triple jumped in my life, so obviously there is a whole lot of room for improvement, but it gives you the general idea. So you sort of run 7 steps on your right leg or your dominant leg, and then you do a hop, step, and a jump. And this is a slow-mo video, so it's a lot slower than you would triple jump in real life. And the only problem was that I had a meet on Monday, and it was a JV meet, and everybody was required to do their field events at that meet, so I was triple jumping with only about 3 days of experience. And we didn't have practice on the weekend, so Saturday and Sunday, my dad and my brother took me out to the track and worked on my triple jumping because I didn't want to fail at that meet. The day of the meet was cold and wet and windy and altogether just horrible weather. It was a home meet, and so my mom and my little sisters were waiting out in the cold for me to go. And they always announce the events like 3 or 4 times before it actually starts so that everybody has a chance to get there. And our coach gave this huge lecture the day before about how if you weren't at your events, you could get kicked off the team, and I was paranoid of missing my time. I was listening to that speaker so closely, and they never called triple jump. And I asked other people, and it wasn't just me. They never called it. And somebody else who was in triple jumping ran and got me and said, they're going. And I was late, and I was so upset with myself and sort of shaken up because my coach was upset at me when it wasn't really my fault. And so I was really nervous for multiple reasons, because being late just sort of shakes you up and makes you more nervous than you need to be. And I was already nervous, and I jumped, and the first time I didn't jump correctly and got a scratch, which just doesn't count, that one. And then the second time I jumped the farthest I've ever jumped, and I was really proud of myself. And then the third time, I was off on my steps, and I ended up landing wrong on my knee. And immediately after I jumped, I could tell my knee was in hurtin' condition, and me being me and not really knowing when to stop, decided I'm still gonna run the mile in the 800. But thankfully, my mom was there, and she told me, there is no way, your knee is injured, I'm taking you home, end of story. And looking back on that, that was a very wise decision. We went to the pediatrician, and the pediatrician believed that if I just rested and iced it and gave myself ibuprofen, that's what I meant to say, life would be great. So for a week, I just iced and rested, and it didn't really seem to be getting any better. Around that time, it was my birthday, and my friends and I were going roller skating. And so we didn't want to cancel it just because my knee was hurting, so we still went roller skating. I found out I am not that talented at roller skating at all. I was falling and falling and falling. My friends were laughing at me so hard. They said they could just make a compilation of all my falls and watch that for hours. And when I got home, I realized that my knee was even more bruised than it was before. Here's a nice little picture of what it looked like. And that hurt my knee even more. So we went back to the pediatrician, and they gave me a note for PE and track and said just to take it off for the rest of the school year, rest, no activities, and hopefully it'll correct itself. End of my 7th grade year comes, and my knee is still not any better. And it doesn't hurt all the time, it's just if I run or walk for long periods of time, or stand for long periods of time, or climb stairs. And so we went back to my pediatrician, and they thought it would be best if I did physical therapy. So they sent me to the physical therapy place, and all of the summer between my 7th and 8th grade year, I was doing physical therapy 3 times a week for 3 months. And by the end of physical therapy, my knee had still really not made any improvements. So we decided we'd just rest it and see what happened. So I started 8th grade PE, and I was in a lot of pain. So we go back to the doctor, and they refer us to the orthopedic place, and the orthopedic place decided that I should just rest it. So for about a month, I was able to just go to the library and work on homework instead of going to PE, and I was the happiest person alive. It was the best day ever. But the orthopedic person realized that that wasn't really their specialty, so they referred me to a sports medicine person. And the sports medicine person had me do an MRI of my knee, a x-ray of my knee, and the x-ray and the MRI really didn't show anything. It showed that I had a bruised growth plate, but there wasn't any tears or anything like that. And so the sports medicine guy disagreed with the orthopedic person and thought it was bad that I wasn't exercising. So he gave me all of these physical therapy type exercises to do in PE instead of doing the running and stuff that would hurt my knee. So for the rest of PE, that's what I did. And that didn't do anything either. So we go back to the sports medicine guy, and he's sort of at a loss. He doesn't know what's wrong. The x-ray doesn't show anything. The MRI doesn't show anything. All I know is my knee is in a lot of pain. So he finally realized that it's probably just growth related because I grew 5 inches this year, and he hopes I grow out of it in 2 to 3 years. So until 2 to 3 years passes, I was just sort of stuck there. So I can't do track or cross country or really do a whole lot of active things. And the other thing that's really horrible is track is one of those things that everybody does. We took a little show of hands survey in my next to last hour because she was saying that people would have to make sure that they were caught up in their classwork because you were going to miss a lot for track meets. So she was like, raise your hand if you're in track. And everybody but about 5 people raised their hand. And then she asked if anybody was in soccer, and 2 of the 5 people raised their hand. So it's about me and 2 other people who are going to be there alone every time the track goes out of town for a meet. And it's really sad and depressing. And it's just overall not fun. So yes, that is why I am no longer in track. Everybody asks me every year why I'm not in track, and I have to explain it over and over and over again. So next year, when track season starts, I'll just be like, go watch this video, it explains it all. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. This was probably a really long video, because it's a kind of long story, but thank you if you made it this far. Thank you very, very much. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up and comment down below what sports you're involved in, or if you have any injuries, or anything like that. And remember to hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Oh yeah, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!